Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember. Ow!
Hello, Mr. Critic!
Who the hell are you?
I'm your new neighbor, Denise the Menace.
Menace?
I'm French-Canadian.
Oh.
Nice studio you got here. Mind if I look around?
Well, I don't know if...
Thanks!
I get it, I'm reviewing Dennis the Menace, so this is the little troublemaker I have to put up with throughout the entire review. Well, what playful antics is she gonna get in? What the shit?
Hi, Mr. Critic! I looked up how to make a pipe bomb and blew up your set.
Jesus!
This place burns faster than other places I've burned.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. When I'm bored, I literally go insane. I'm hacking your phone right now behind your back.
Give me that. Hello?
This is Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know how you got my number, but based on what you texted me, your life is over.
Oh my god. You just took my hottest fantasy and turned it into my creepiest nightmare. Which still might be my hottest fantasy.
Don't worry, I doxed you before I came here, so you'll have to deal with that first.
Aw, jeesh. What the hell is wrong with your generation?
Your generation raised me.
That's... shit.
You get to pay for property damage and therapy bills.
Well, I'm gonna deal with you the way every modern adult does, with experimental drugs.
That's a new concoction. What is it?
It's called Adderall.
J'adore. J'adore.
What we consider troublemakers varies over the years. What could be seen as shocking and daring back in the day could be seen as safe and corny a decade later.
Like, who does he think he is with that slingshot in his back pocket? Dennis the Menace?
On that note, you do still know who Dennis the Menace is. He made his first appearance in newspaper comic strips in the 50s, and somehow he stayed in the public eye 70 years later. Okay, he's not a huge name, but people are still familiar with who he is. And he represents distinctly 1950s troublemakers. I'll admit, I grew up with this character in the comic strips and cartoon shows, and even the old black and white series. While his adventures are great for kids, there's usually not a ton for adults and older kids, but there's no fault in that. The character works because his design is surprisingly kind of timeless. He's relatable enough to connect us to that age. And most importantly, he has no idea he's a menace. He's just an ordinary upbeat kid who's never aware he's causing misery to the adults around him, particularly his neighbor, Mr. Wilson. It's an innocent portrayal of what we all probably were in one way or another at that age, without realizing it at the time. He's not an amazing character, but there is enough to keep him relevant so many decades later. But maybe because he is so distinctly 1950s, a lot of people may not have gotten into the 1993 film. Yes, this is clearly just for kids. Yes, it came out at the beginning of the Home Alone craze where every family film was trying to replicate that success. But I thought this was totally fine for what it was. For all the people that have been recommending this over the years, waiting for me to rip it apart, I'm sorry to say, I think the film works. Enough for its target audience. There are going to be some awkward moments and jokes that don't fly, but I think it's pretty obvious this is meant mainly just for kids, and like I said before, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. The writing can aim for a younger crowd, but it doesn't have to be annoying or insulting. The film captures the spirit of the comic without having to throw in too many cultural references or catchphrases. If you're not a fan of this movie, just imagine how much worse it would be if a few "not" or "with attitude" was in there. The production of the film is delightfully random too. Like John Hughes wrote and produced it, which okay is not a big surprise, but the director helmed special effects flicks like Last Starfighter, wrote gritty movies like Escape from New York, and get this, is the original Michael Myers from Halloween. I think this movie would have been quite different if that was the vibe it went with. So, with all the negative press it got over the years, I want to stick up for it a little bit. Not as a great family classic, but what Dennis the Menace has always been, a cute light send-up to childhood. Not that many kids today would understand that send-up.
Hey look, Mr. Critic! I used AI to make you say things!
Hello, Nostalgia Critic here. I caused 9/11, and I wet the bed.
I just posted it to all your socials.
Of course you did. Hello? Hi, this is literally you? I thought I knew you. This is Dennis the Menace. We start off this film so unpopular there's not even a Blu-ray release of it, with Mr. Wilson, played by Walter Matthau, running away from the little menace himself, played by Mason Gamble.
Hey, Mr. Wilson!
Calm down, buddy. It's not like he's gonna break into the house. Jesus, he broke into the house! Michael Myers really did direct this!
Mr. Wilson.
Again, that's the kind of world this is, very loose with its reality, similar to the comic strip.
His tongue's very ugly and blue and
So I think a major part of people enjoying or not enjoying this film is Dennis himself. I've heard a lot of people describe him as being too obnoxiously cute. For me, I think the age plays a big part. In the comic, I'd say he's about 10 or so. In the live-action series, they went until he was about 12. And those versions match those ages perfectly. This Dennis is supposed to be a lot younger, around 5. Maybe prepping for future sequels, I don't know. And honestly, I think he plays it like a real 5-year-old. He doesn't have a lot of clever one-liners because most kids that age don't have that heavy a self-awareness. They just want to go have fun, not thinking at all about the consequences or how they look. He can be annoying, and I could see people not really getting into that, but he's the same kind of annoying a lot of us were at that age and just don't want to remember.
Oh no, he's growing extra skin.
Likewise, I think Matthew plays his part perfectly. A lot of people would ask why he doesn't just tell Dennis to go away, but in my opinion, I think there's a part of him that wants to be annoyed. Not to say he's looking for bad things to happen, but he's clearly a grumpy person. And a lot of grumpy people like to put all their blame into one scapegoat. It's just more pessimistically convenient. And Dennis is the perfect scapegoat.
Need an aspirin.
That's a good joke. In fact, how many medicines has he gotten into? Again, these shots are a lot more scary when you know the shape is behind them. Wilson does eventually throw him out as Leah Thompson and Robert Stanton play his mom and dad, who I swear were born just to play his mom and dad. Not happy to find out he was at Wilson's house.
You go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
For how long?
Until you're sorry.
Oh good, I'm sorry now.
Remember what I said, son? If you don't follow the rules, your mother will disappear into the wallpaper. Wilson has his own idea about how to deal with Dennis.
Maybe it isn't talk that he needs. You see, when my old man had something important to tell me, he told me with his belt.
That's how I learned math so well. 1 + 1 is...
He won't be over at all.
Now, don't make me out to be a grump. I didn't say never.
Again, you can see he doesn't like Dennis, but he doesn't want to be totally heartless either. There is wiggle room for the character.
I'll make sure Dennis doesn't come by anymore.
Now, careful how you say it. I don't want everybody in the neighborhood to think that I'm a child hater or an ogre.
Just make me out to be a child abuser. I'm much more comfortable with that. Joan Plowright plays Mrs. Wilson, who really only has to be nice and know how to say George.
George.
She got it. She tries to calm him down as he obsesses over a rare flower he has that blooms only for a moment every 40 years.
There isn't a gardener in town who has a plant that requires a 40-year investment for 10 seconds of splendor.
That reminds me of when we get intimate. Dennis is upset because his mother is going back to work, which means he has to be dropped off at Mrs. Wade's house, whose daughter, Margaret, he doesn't get along with. And to his credit, she might be a little bit of a psycho, too.
I can make it. How? I'll slug you back. Quit wasting time. Mush your lips together and let's get this over with. Close your eyes.
There's a lot of things that are troubling about this, but after seeing Cody Banks, it all feels like, well, Dennis the Menace. She makes him kiss her doll's butt, though. What? Okay, some of these jokes are stupid.
This thing's been here our whole life and we never knew it.
They go with his friend Joey to fix up an old treehouse.
Don't call me stupid baby rump kisser. Let's go up and see what color carpet we should get. Forks don't got carpet. They do now, hot lips.
You keep using that joke. I don't think it's as funny as you think it is funny. Later that night, they play hide and seek with, I think, his entire first grade class. But when Wilson sees Dennis is using another kid to cheat, he tells the kid that his dad wants him home to give him ice cream.
Think how disappointed he's going to be when he gets home.
Well, he better get used to it. Disappointment's going to be a big part of his life. He's a foot short for his age, and he's cross-eyed.
You know you're getting older when Mr. Wilson is slowly becoming your spirit animal. Meanwhile, Christopher Lloyd plays a wanderer approaching the neighborhood named Switchblade Sam, which I'll admit I'm kind of surprised is a name that made it into the world of Dennis the Menace.
Ain't that a pretty sight? I bet they don't even lock their doors.
I'm running out of ways to act surprised the guy who played Michael Myers directed this. The three kids continue to make their fort.
You know why men are so lousy when it comes to taking care of babies? They have better things to do. Like what? Like hunting, having wars, driving cars.
I love having wars is on the same level as driving cars to him. But Sam is nearby and say, that looks valuable.
I've been robbed.
I have plans for... Wait, do I even want to know what I'm gonna do with this? And okay, I guess they were trying to hammer in the stranger danger thing back in the day, but it still feels weird for a film like this.
What's she asked for?
Apple.
Well, that clenches it. This was originally a script for Halloween 6, and that apple was originally that kid's heart. God, I shouldn't have IMDb'd this guy beforehand. Dennis's babysitter, Polly, arrives, played by Natasha Lyonne.
My girlfriend used to babysit for Dennis. She said bring a helmet and wear pants.
Orange is the New Black, and but I'm a cheerleader star, huh? But Dennis spills paint and sucks it up with a vacuum, accidentally launching it on Mr. Wilson's grill.
Tastes funny. Tastes like paint.
How does he know what paint tastes like?
The 60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it.
I'm looking for Polly.
Polly's boyfriend, Mickey, arrives, played by Buzz. Yeah, I could use his real name, but all you'll hear is Buzz. And Dennis messes with them, pushing the doorbell over and over to stop them from making out. He does it so many times they set a trap for him. I too was shocked this was a Hughes production in the 90s. But of course, Mr. Wilson rings the doorbell and gets it instead.
He's only a boy, huh?
George, please, save it for Saturday. Speaking of bedroom games.
On Sunday morning, when he and my mom wrestle, they kind of like to be alone when they do that. I think it's because they take off their shirts, and then they start to make funny noises.
You can go out.
Jesus, somebody watched a Flora Buttery ad! Dennis tries to leave a card for Mr. Wilson, but he sees his teeth and starts playing with them, accidentally losing a few. He decides to improvise just before a photographer comes over to take a picture of Wilson with the rare flower.
Very good. Now, smile.
Hey, didn't Popeye kill that guy? Okay, maybe the music could be toned down a little. A lot, it could be toned down a lot. Both of Dennis's parents are going on business trips, but they find every babysitter wants nothing to do with them. So their last resort is Mr. Wilson.
I brought my own pillow so I don't get my spit all over yours.
Thank you, dear.
That's the look of my belt is so ready, all of your teeth are gonna be replaced with chiclets.
If I'm not going to be around my mom and dad, the only other person I want to be around is you.
He truly is the James Caan to this movie's elf sometimes. There's a legitimately sweet scene where Mrs. Wilson reads a poem to Dennis that shows how much the family misses each other. It's not an essential moment or anything, but Plowright's acting really does add a lot of heart to it.
Now shut your eyes while Mother sings of wonderful sights that be, and you shall see the beautiful things as you rock in the misty sea.
Yeah, I really should travel to the city and not just hang up a picture of it outside my window. Well, it rains outside, or while one of the grips holds a few hoses on the window during a sunny day. Dennis becomes bored and uses up all of Wilson's medicine, replacing it with mouthwash. Okay, we all thought that was a toilet and the mouthwash spray gave him brain damage, right? Mrs. Wilson tries opening up to Mr. Wilson about her regrets on not being a mother, which goes about as well as you would think.
I would have been a good mother.
And I would have made a swell fireman.
Actually, you'd be a great corpse.
What are you talking about?
He does feel bad about what he said, so he tries to comfort her. Not aware he's talking to Dennis's dog.
Je t'aime, je t'adore.
George?
No, you have to do it like an actual respected children's classic and kiss the dog's ass. It's what Seuss would have wanted. Ooh, an attic. What bandit stuff can we do up here? Dead. It looks like a storm is delaying the parents' return, so Dennis has to stay there while Wilson has his big event with the blooming flower.
Now, don't be timid. Move down front.
On behalf of the Garden Club, we would like to present...
George Wilson.
What's that say?
Plague? What does that mean?
Hey, there was no storm. That couple made it on their plane fine. Even had time to get her new earrings, dangly ones. Dennis accidentally opens the garage, knocking over his spread.
Michelle, could you get somebody to come and clear this away?
Don't look at me, it was those family circus kids from the wrong side of the track. He's told to stay inside, but it looks like Sam is robbing Mr. Wilson's safe while the flower blooms. Dennis tries to tell Mr. Wilson, causing him to miss the flower.
You took something from me that I could never get back. Something that means more to me than you ever will.
You don't understand. For old people, it's watching plants and a Fox and Friends Christmas. That's all we have!
I don't want to see you. I don't want to know you. Get out of my way.
Sounds like what he said to Neil Simon after Odd Couple 2. Dennis feels awful and runs away just as his parents return. Mr. Wilson feels bad about what he said and goes looking for him, but to make things worse, Sam finds him and kidnaps him, despite the fact that he doesn't really understand what getting kidnapped means.
You can be my hostage.
Cool. I can only be your hostage till tomorrow. I have church in the morning.
Which to a 5-year-old is basically the same thing. As you'd imagine, Dennis starts annoying him, so Sam tries tying his feet.
You're doing it wrong. There's only one way to do it, and I know lots of people have tried to tie me up, but it doesn't work.
Can't tell if playful fun or if he's repressing something. Dennis quickly slips out of it, and as you'd guess, he shows him the proper way.
First, you gotta tie up each leg by itself. Then if you really don't want me to move at all, bend down.
Him and Kevin McAllister are gonna have their own serial killer series, right? While trying to free him, Dennis loses the key and obviously keeps hurting him by accident. And even for a movie where the humor is a lot slower, this does probably go on too long. 15 goddamn minutes to be exact. This would be like if the climax of Home Alone was only at the treehouse. You need a little bit more variety for this kind of thing to work.
This is Mr. Wilson's score.
Dennis finally figures out he's the bad guy, probably because he's about to stab him to death.
Say your prayers, little rat.
I can't. I didn't take my bath yet.
Have it your own way.
Mr. Wilson stops him, saying, "Wait, I got first dibs!" Through a complicated series of pretty forced writing, he gets strapped to a train and knocked out on the ceiling. I'm kinda shocked they didn't work Mr. Wilson into the climax. I mean, okay, what's he gonna do, throw his dead flower at him? But I figure he could have found him that night after Dennis escaped or something. Regardless, he does see him the following morning after bringing Sam to justice.
Guess what?
What?
I got your gold back.
Are you still missing 2 teeth? I have several of Sam's. They quickly make up and he's reunited with his parents as well.
They agreed to start a daycare center so I can take Dennis to work with me now.
That's ridiculous. What the heck's he gonna do all day?
I think the better argument would be if you want the staff to stay alive, you'd keep him at home. Mr. Wilson, of course, offers to babysit whenever needed.
You have to expect the unexpected.
Put that on a plate and he'd have the end of an Ari Aster movie. And that was Dennis the Menace. Yeah, it's slow, corny, and only meant for kids, but what, the original wasn't? I guess they can make a version of this that hits both kids and adults, but honestly, I don't see much of the point. It's not like a big budget comedy where it feels like the writing needs to prove it's worth spending all that money. It's just a cute little kid's movie about a cute little kid. I guess I can't be shocked if somebody doesn't get into it. Again, it is slower than a lot of other media these days, but I think it has enough heart and dedication to the source material that it acquits itself enough. It's not a movie I'll be returning to often, but for a film about a little 5-year-old, I think it's totally fine for little 5-year-olds. I'm a nostalgia critic, I remember.
It went off, Miss Zeta Jones.
Wonderful. Thank you for showing me how to make that pipe bomb.
You're welcome.
Now tell me, how did you get my number?
I'll tell you if you'll be my friend.
He told me with his belt.